Hello, my name is David Phelps. I'm a sophomore at the University of Alabama, studying civil engineering and New College, which is a interdisciplinary design yard major program here. And the people that have most impacted me, it's parents and close friends at the top, and then right below that is educators and teachers in my life. And because of that impact teachers can have, I feel called in education now, and so I hope to eventually teach somewhere in an urban middle school or high school, and possibly move on to the policy level. Still not quite sure. But those teachers that have greatly impacted me are numerous, but I've chosen to highlight two of them specifically that have inspired me throughout my life and who I will aspire to become once I do move on into a teaching role. I'll start where it all started with my education. Miss Becky Bauer, who taught me first grade, second grade, part of third grade, and fourth grade. We kind of moved up together at the elementary school, and while we spent many years together, it was more than just the quantity of her teaching that I received. It was truly about the quality. And I remember specifically, even though this was more than 10 years ago probably, I'm sitting in class, I think this was first grade, and I had just transferred in, so I was a brand new student. It was probably January, I transferred mid-year, and they had used phonics to teach reading. And I definitely had not learned that in Minnesota, so I was freaking out. It had all these like marks on it and lines and different ways to pronounce things, and you were like diagramming sentences. I was very confused, freaking out. I was also trying to make friends and learn what the lunch line is. So I was really confused, and every day I would raise my hand and say, "Miss Bauer, what if I don't know how to do it?" And when I doubted myself and my ability to learn how to read something I had so wanted to do, she would single me out and say, "David, you can do this. You are smart, you have value," and she began to adapt the way she taught the class to fit my learning style. And even in first grade, I began to see how important teachers could be. I believe it was my fourth grade year. She set up a project for me. She saw I had some energy, but I didn't really have a way of dealing with it, and so she gave me this project. It was probably the first time I got to plan something, and I got to design a logo, and I got super into it, and I think it's kind of set the tone for me throughout my high school years, now into college. She gave me the Box Tops for Education project. As you probably know, Box Tops for Education is a partnership with General Mills. Basically, you can cut off a square of your cereals, or now they moved on to like soups and any kind of food item that comes in a packaging. You can cut it out and send it in. When I did the project, it was 10 cents per box top. And so we set it up to where each different class in fourth grade was competing, and we had this massive, I remember it was a yellow piece of butcher paper that had a big bar graph on it. And so we were teaching math, we were learning about bar graphs, and so I designed the bar graph, and we got to write all the updated totals on, and then we got to come up with a tracking system to where each teacher got an envelope that was checked bi-weekly, and we had a team that would count all the box tops up and then estimate the amount of money the school was getting, and we had a big assembly with prizes, and I just remember being so excited that I had something I could invest energy and time into, and it was also helping the school. I'm sure the quantity raised was not too significant, but as we all know, any money in education can help, and so the consistency and depth with which Ms. Bauer invested in kids is something I will never be able to understand. A kid in class who was having family issues and struggling, I think it was in math, and so she talked to 2 or 3 of us who were kind of understanding the content well, and we set up a little tutoring circle in class, and we were able to kind of get to know each other really well and connect them with the community of the school. And that was something, again, I didn't know what she was doing at the time, but looking back on it, that sense of community in a school, especially when you're a young child, is so important for development, both academically and socially. Her ability to set up a structure for success is something I will value. Later on in my life, God blessed me with the opportunity to attend Ben Franklin High School, a truly defining experience in my life. The culture of Franklin attracts literally dozens of the country's best teachers, and one in particular that stands out for me is Dr. Hightower. She's probably one of the top 2 most difficult teachers to take. It wasn't challenging just so it could be challenging, although there is value in that, I think. It was challenging for a greater purpose. Everything we did connected with a skill I still use today. One in particular, second semester, end of the year project, we had a debate on whether Huck Finn should be taught in public education. And we literally split the class into two halves, and I think we had 4 or 5 weeks to develop our points. Our two teams became super competitive. One of my best friends, Troy Gibson, was on the other side, and we pretty much didn't talk for 2 weeks. So she was able to create that culture of motivation and competition, which are both can be healthy if used effectively in a classroom. Our team had a meeting where we were developing our primary points, and we researched Kant and the categorical imperative and how that would relate to banning Huck Finn from the classroom. And I just remember being so enthralled with this project. We had the debate coach come in and judge the competition, and because that project was so demanding, there was such a sense of pride and self-worth once we finished it. And thankfully our team was victorious, which added to it even more. But the way she expanded my vocabulary and sentence structure and how to purposefully structure arguments to be effective, and just every aspect of effective communication beyond just the written but into the verbal and the nonverbal. Dr. Hightower's class, although I plan on teaching probably a math or a science, her English class would probably be the most applicable for the way I'm able to articulate some math concept in the future. So to conclude, Ms. Bauer, if you get the chance to watch this, thank you so much for laying the foundation for everything I do now. I will forever cherish those years I had with you, and look forward to hopefully becoming just a fraction of the teacher you were to me. And to Dr. Hightower, thank you for never settling, for pushing us beyond what we thought we could do, for making us uncomfortable, for questioning our realities, and to teaching us that communication is the first step in anything you do. I'm so excited for the chance to share these with you, and I hope you also reflect upon the great impact teachers have had on your life and the impact they have in our society as a whole. Thank you, and roll tide.